Melissa Etheridge is getting ready for an off-Broadway residency this month at New York's New World Stages. Her solo theatrical show, My Window, A Journey Through Life, promises an evening of music and storytelling. Let's check back in now with Paul Wontorek.
What does it mean for you to sit down for a New York run in a legitimate theater?
That's a dream come true. It really is. I mean, I've done well at the rock and roll thing. I'm all, I feel real good about that, my career. And I have always loved stage. And my shows are made to where we can set it up. We can rock the hell out of you for 2 hours and leave town. Thank you very much. Goodbye. And it's great and wonderful. And I love it. And I'll be doing that for, the rest of my life. But to be able to be in one place and really set up production and set up a stage that's going to tell a story from birth till now. And I'm going to take people through, and I'm really going to bring them into my life, really tell my my story of coming out, of being gay and being gay in Kansas, and coming through all that, and then cancer, and then ultimately losing my son a couple years ago, and just how that journey has been and what it's been, and to really be able to not only give it musically but theatrically, and we have projections and set, and just I'm really excited.
Even before you came out of the closet almost 30 years ago, you never lived a lie. You were always very open in how you lived. Do you feel like you're always in the public eye, and does that make something like this easier? Are you sort of used to having that relationship with the public?
I figured if what I wanted to be was a rock star and someone who, shares my music with people in their life, and I wanted to be the kind of artist that, people would take the music and it would mean something to them. I figured that my life, would also be out there. And in the 90s, especially before social media, it was hard to be gay, one, and in the closet and be famous.
Yeah.
And they were always, chasing you and stuff. And I didn't like that at all. So I said, look, I'm just going to come out. I'm going to be truthful about myself and just see where it goes and see what happens. And that way I don't have to worry about anything. Other people can worry about stuff if they want, but I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just being me and doing my thing. And that has always worked out for me. So having that relationship, it's like, the public is like a relative that I have to inform, say, hey, this happened,
I did notice that your show is called My Window, and one of your 2 Grammy-winning songs is one of my favorites, Come to My Window. So you're literally telling people, come to my window, my show.
How clever is that? Come to my window. Yes, come to my window. My window is the show. Yeah, and it's, it's my window. I'm going to, it's like telling the story of my life. You come through my window and see my story. Probably the hardest part was choosing which songs I was going to do. I'm actually doing some songs that my fans aren't used to hearing, some really deep tracks, but also, you'll hear the familiar songs also.
Obviously, Bruce Springsteen had a big success with a similar show on Broadway, and in the sense of using his music and his life story. Obviously, you have your own music and your own life story, but I assume you drew some inspiration from him.
Oh, yeah. I'm so grateful for him because he really knocked down the door to, it was hard to kind of bridge that, Broadway was Broadway, rock and roll music was rock and roll music. They were doing some jukebox musicals and everything, but as an artist, to go to Broadway and present something, he was the first that showed, hey, it can be done and it can be, financially rewarding. And so finally, after he did it, that's when I finally got interest. People were like, okay, let's try you. We'll try you. I'm like, good.
You've been flirting with Broadway for a while. I'm sure people have come to you with jukebox ideas too with your songs. Have you ever considered that, or are you considering writing a musical still?
Oh, I would love to write a musical with all original music. I was approached a few years ago to do the Mystic Pizza, but they wanted it to be a jukebox thing. And I was like, no, please let me write new songs. And it just didn't work out. So that went away. In 2011, I substituted for Billy Joe in American Idiot for a week.
I know, you were fantastic.
That was so much fun. That's when I was like, oh, I got to do this again. I just loved it.